Oh, hi, I'm ZZ Slop of Fog City Rollers, and you're watching Canuck Derby TV.
It's not true.
It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
Hey, Lou.
Hey, Private Stacks, look at that. There's roller derby happening. How did this go? Hey, we are in the first game of the second round of the first day. Feet-a-Wah and Chicks Ahoy facing off. Feet-a-Wah in purple, Chicks Ahoy in green. Dinah Hirsch jamming for the Chicks Ahoy getting out, but already with lead jammer. That's number O.
Ahoy.
Oh-hi. Oh.
Wondering why there was such a short break between those two matches. All the timeouts possible were called last bout. And this is our first game of the second round, as Lou was saying. And just going out on a limb here. This should be a good one.
I'm certainly hoping so. Both of these teams have won their first game in the first round. Whoever wins this will advance directly to day number 2. The loser, well, it's double elimination on day 1. They get one more shot later today to advance.
If you're a hockey fan sitting at home, you're going to get all the Toronto-Montreal action you can stand today between Derby and the NHL.
So we've got Demanda Lashing, number 33, jamming for Feet-a-Wah. She got lead jammer, is already through and coming through the pack. We're getting track cut indicated by Cactus Jack, but that is to a blocker on the Chicks Ahoy. Demanda Lashing calling it off after Rosemary's Rabies got out of the pack. Puts another through 4 points up for Feet-a-Wah, 8-0, 2 jams in, 18 and a half minutes ago.
You might know this a little bit better than I do, Lou, but I think it's been 3 years since a Montreal team has actually won Beast of the East. The Chicks Ahoy won, the Slaughter Daughters won, and
I don't believe the Chicks ever won.
Not the Chicks. Who am I thinking of?
Slaughter Daughters, the Vicious Dishes.
Dishes. That's what I was thinking.
So, but before that, was it Rikai that won before that one? 2000.
I'm sure Derby Nerd has this written down somewhere.
We've got the information somewhere. Anyways, another jam underway. That is Ohio O, number O, jamming for the Feet-a-Wah, getting lead jammer. And Cookie Dough, number 807 for the Chicks, getting through as well. Another call off. And 5 points on the board for Feet-a-Wah, 13-0, keeping the Chicks shut out, 3 jams in. And we're going to get Dinah Hircha going up against Demanda Lashing, I believe.
I do have confirmation. The last time a Montreal team won was way back in 2010.
And what team was that, Stats?
It was the team that is skating right now, Les Filles-du-Roi.
And I know these Montreal teams are very hungry to get back on the championship podium, reclaim the championship for their home league. Demanda Lashing getting lead jammer, doing a fine job of getting the Feetawa a lead in this game early on. Dinah Hertz chasing her down, but Demanda Lashing's going to be able to hit that pack and pick up points. Quick hands on the hips. Did Dinah Hertz pick anything up? Yes, she did. She picked up 3, as did Demanda Lashing. So that jam is a wash, but it does break the goose egg for the Chicks. Chicks now at 3, Feetawa at 16, with 16 and a half minutes to go in the game.
Gotta love these fast-moving games at the Beast of the East. Everybody, there's no dilly-dallying getting out to the line because you only have 20 minutes to score points.
That's right. Small mistakes end up having big results when you have such a short game. In a longer game, things even out, but 20 minutes, bad stuff happens if you do things wrong. Feetawa not making a mistake by putting Beth Rave out there. She had a great first game as a jammer, and she's lead jammer again for Feetawa. Rosemary's Rabies stuck in the pack behind the purple and gold.
Fun fact, you're saying her name wrong. Should be Betrive.
Is that what it is?
That would be how it's pronounced.
Betrav.
Betrive.
All right.
I'm trying to
trick these Anglos. What's going on?
They both look like English words, but they're not.
I am in Montreal. I will submit. So once again, 5 more points for the Feetawa. They're up to 26 as the scoreboard randomly changes on us. Rosemary Rabies finally getting out of the pack. One more scoring pass coming up, Stacks.
We saw this a little bit from the Feetawa towards the end of last year, and we definitely saw it in the intra-league tournament that we had here in Montreal. When they start skating Betrive as the jammer, she's not necessarily the fastest, but certainly very sturdy on her skates. I like to refer to her as steamrolling through the pack.
I really appreciate those atypical jammers. I like it when they get the star on their head and they go out there and get business done. No one's expecting them to be successful, and yet they push their way through the pack and put big points up on the board. It's always exciting to see.
The other thing about Betrive jamming is she doesn't seem to be expending too much energy, so you don't mind. She just skates strong and steady all the way through. It definitely pays off.
And another jammer who has been skating strong and steady all tournament long. That is, once again, Demanda Lashing, number 33, wearing the star for the Feetawa. Great first game for her as well, and now she is ready to put points on the board as the Feetawa are able to keep Cookie Dough, a skater for CN Power who has stayed on her home team this year. They've been able to keep her in the pack.
Cookie Dough made it through the pack, but sort of for no reason, because Demanda Lashing just called it through all those bumps and bangs and nothing to show for it for the Chicks Ahoy.
The Chicks Ahoy digging themselves a big hole early on in this game, 37-3. Hasn't really been due to power jams, it's just flat out hard blocking on the part of the Feetawa, and the great jamming that their star wearers have been putting points up jam after jam.
Also, way back in 2010, taking a look here at Derby Nerds' meticulous notes, the Feetawa had the most points per game ever in the tournament, averaging 80 points per game that year, which is impressive given those 20-minute matches.
And I believe that was the last year that the travel team skaters from New Skids on the Block were skating for their home teams. So it's taken two years off basically for the for the home teams to rebuild. But Montreal's home team is looking very strong in this tournament. Another jam called off. Checking for points on the board. We're still just seeing, look, Chicks Ahoy putting 4 more up. Dinah Hertz picking those up during that last jam. 35-7. 12 minutes, 40 seconds to go.
Did we get a 4th camera?
We have a holy crap camera. I don't know if that's actually up and running yet, but
it's a holy crap camera?
It is our holy crap camera. You can see it.
Brought to you by Holy Crap
Brought
Cereal?
to you by Holy Crap Cereal, one of our amazing sponsors for Canuck Derby TV. It's one of the reasons that you're able to watch this at home.
Also called the Holy Crap camera because they get to look at our ugly mugs.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of sad for the people at home, but great for Holy Crap Cereal, the most amazing breakfast cereal in the world. Lead jammer for Fidois. That was Panzeret. And she's going to call it off. We've got double zeros going on. So once again, 35-7, 28-point lead. Just under 12 minutes to go in this game.
It's not over yet, definitely. We've seen bigger catch-ups before, but the Chicks Ahoy are going to need to settle things down and start putting a whole lot of points more on the board as we approach the halfway point of this short bout.
Sure enough. And again, the winner of this game will advance directly to the quarterfinals on day 2. The loser will have to play one more game today. There are 20 bouts today, Private Stacks. 20-minute bouts. It's out of control, and we're not even halfway through the day. And who's lead jammer?
It's our strong and steady steamroller, Betkaev, with that deliberate, slow and steady. Well, not slow. She's going very quickly, but compared to other jammers, that deliberate, solid skating that Betkaev has that is so effective, teams just can't really respond to it. They try to knock her down, and she just doesn't care, keeps on skating.
Yeah, it's hard to complain when you put a jammer out there and she gets lead jammer every time, puts points up on the board, calls it off correctly, and doesn't cost your team any points. 39-7 for Fidois, ticking down to the 10.5-minute mark in this game. Dinah Hercha on the line for Chicks Ahoy, and that's Demanda Lashing coming out. Nice move on the outside, powering her way through, getting lead jammer Fidois. Dinah Hercha, a powerful skater, getting past Magnum PEI.
As we've seen so many times before, the Fidois seem to have lead jammer even before coming out at turn 2.
Yeah, they're getting really nice starts off of their line. I think their blockers are doing some really good setups in that scrum start, making holes before the pack even gets moving, and their jammers are finding those holes, getting lead jammer. 40 points for Fidois now, 10 points for Chicks Ahoy. Under the 10-minute mark, that means we've played half of this 20-minute match.
This is one of those times where the short match really favors the aggressive team. This is something that maybe the Chicks Ahoy could adapt if there was an actual halftime. They could adapt to the start. However, they just don't have the time to adapt in these 20-minute matches. So these quick strategies like these, the Fidois excelling at the scrum start like we're seeing right now, once again, they have lead jammer before coming out of turn 2.
And even more impressive, they were down two blockers in the box. So Chicks Ahoy had a 4-on-2 pack advantage when that happened, but Ohio getting through the pack, getting lead jammer, calling it off, picking up 5 points, not necessarily having to do that because Rosemary hadn't actually gotten free from the pack, but 5 points is 5 points. It's not hurting Fidois to put more points up on the board. 9 minutes to go in this game. Still a 3-on-2 pack advantage for the Chicks Ahoy. They're going to need to make a move soon or they're going to find themselves running out of time, Stacks.
At this point, though, you got to enjoy the position that the Fidois have put themselves in. They don't seem to be pushing their jammers too much. They have a 35-point lead, and if they manage to walk away with this win in the next 9 minutes, it's going to be 2 o'clock on a Saturday, and they can rest for the whole day, not having to play until Sunday.
And once again, lead jammer. That's Demanda Lashing. Cookie Dough, hot on her tail, but she's going to be able to approach that pack. Gets past Furious Georgia, calls off the jam, and another 4 points go up on the board. 3 points going to Cookie Dough. That's going to be 13 for the Chicks Ahoy. Fidois.
Did you just call her the Cookie Dough?
The Cookie Dough.
The Cookie Dough. I know there was a "the" in front of her name.
There is now.
It's like the Batman. She's the Cookie Dough.
And it's K-O-O-K, right? So that seems like it should be the Cookie Dough.
Cookie.
The Cookie Dough.
Like Cookie Crisp.
49-13, under 8 minutes to go in this bout. Fidois in control, and as Stack said, not expending a lot of energy in this game, only having to play 2 today. They will be well rested, and lead jammer going to Fidois one more time.
With that strong, steady skating once again out of Betkaev. Certainly not the most explosive skater for Les Fidois, but certainly one of the more effective.
Yeah, she showed some nice acceleration on the outside there to get 2 points for her team. Again, it ticks more time off the clock.
Extends that lead even by a little.
Exactly. These games are 20-minute sprints, but the reality is this tournament is a real marathon for these skaters. They have to play a lot of games, and if you end up losing one, you have to play one extra game in order to make it through the championship. That has happened before. Last year, the Vicious Dish is losing one game to the Feetawa, who are on the track right now, but still managed to win the tournament itself because of the double elimination format. And once again, lead jammer for the purple and gold, Demanda Lashing. Demanda Lashing calling off the jam, picking up another 4 points for Feetawa. Feetawa well in control of this game, although, you know, it's still, with some mistakes, the Chicks could still claw their way back. Coming up after this game, we will have our first elimination matchup of the tournament. The loser of that game will be done. And that's going to be the Riot Squad from Rideau Valley Roller Girls facing off against the Tri-City Roller Girls Vicious Dishes, the defending champs from last year, in danger of being eliminated in 2 games. And there goes Ahoy. Oh, getting lead jammer. And there's my favorite, the cookie dough. The cookie dough getting through the pack, not picking up any points. Ahoy sharply stopping, putting 4 more points on the board for Feetawa. We're looking at 58-13 at the moment on the scoreboard. 5 minutes to go in this game. So the loser of this game will go on to play one more game at 6:40. They will play the winner of game number 12, which is going to be between the Casgul and Tem Fatales.
Just missed an exciting exchange as both jammers broke out of the pack almost simultaneously. However, I believe it's Panzeret. Am I right?
That is Panzeret, yes.
Yeah, I'm learning the home teams.
Yeah, it's always interesting when there's new skaters on the team and you're just coming in to announce them. It's like, oh, who's that out there?
Experienced that back at the triple threat round robin. Stood up there on the announce line and was like, who are these girls?
Oh, it's always nice to see fresh faces wearing helmets and skates and going around in circles, turning left.
We don't announce the boot camps, right?
No, we don't. We should do that sometime. That'd be really exciting for everyone. Demanda Lashing, lead jammer once again. Rosemary Rabies trying to get through on the inside. Hung up at the front by Crackerjass. Knocking to the ground and getting cycled to the back. It's been the story of the game. Jammers for the Feetawa getting through with relative ease, and the jammers for the Chicks Ahoy just getting cycled back into the pack repeatedly. Good blocking, good jamming. Feetawa in complete control. 3.5 minutes to go in this game and 5 more points going up on the board. Rosemary Rabies knocked to the inside once again. I believe that was Scores Easy. Scores Hazy.
Speaking of Scores Easy, looks like Demanda Lashing had no problem getting through that pack for another Grand Slam. She's not skating too hard. She is taking it easy, as it were. Still scoring points, though.
And she's going to score some more as she goes by on the outside. Knocked to the out of bounds by Robert Blind. Calls off the jam. 5 more points. And Feetawa moved to 73-13. Feetawa having a little more difficulty in their first game against the Vicious Dishes. They won that game 50-25, but they seem to be handling the Chicks pretty handily in this game. Private Stacks.
It was a terrible pun.
It was a horrible pun, absolutely horrible. 73-13, 60-point lead, and we're getting down into last jam territory, depending on who wants to have timeouts.
Almost a shame when teams like the Vicious Dishes and the Feetawa meet so early in the tournament, because one of those teams has to pick up the loss.
It is the nature of the draw. Sometimes there is a bracket of death. I consider this to be it. Both the Riot Squad and the Vicious Dishes having good teams, but one of them will be going home after this game is complete. They will fight it out for 20 minutes, but right now, Feetawa with Ahoy getting another 5 roller derby points for the Feetawa.
I've often thought that the brackets should be based on previous Beast performances, sort of like a qualifying to the next year also.
Sure, it'd be fun. We could have a little bit of seeding going on, take some of the randomness out of it, but again, that's part of the magic of Beast. You never know what you're going to get. Everyone always anxiously awaits the schedule to see what's going to be happening, who's going to be playing who, and then pundits like myself sit down and frantically scratch out who's going to win every single game. I, of course, had the Chicks Ahoy losing their very first game, so my bracket was broken at 8 o'clock this morning.
Did you make any overall predictions, Lou?
I have currently on my bracket Rakai facing off against the Slaughter Daughters in the finals, but there are a lot of games to be played before that happens. 28 games in this tournament. This is game number 9. Miles to go before we sleep. 91-13 for the Feetawa. 44 seconds left in this game. We'll get one final jam, and that's going to be on the track. Let me just see. What's Cookie Dough?
Now you're quoting Robert Frost.
I've got to do something, right? Sometimes when these games get away from you, you got no choice but to bring out the poetry. And lead jammer for the Chicks Ahoy. Only the second time in this game, I believe. That is Cookie Dough. Hot on her tail, demand a lashing.
Talked about this earlier today when we were watching, I can't remember, playing the importance of those moral victories heading towards the end of the match, especially when looks like the Chicks Ahoy are headed towards a third game. Rebuilding from a morale point of view is very, very important, because if they drop a second game today, they might as well head back home tomorrow.
That's right. It's easy to go home on a Sunday when you don't have any games to play. Looks like Chicks Ahoy managed to get a timeout in before time ticked off on the clock. There was only about 5 seconds left when that jam was called off, but the bench coach, Tara Part, signaled a timeout.
It's like they don't seem in a hurry to get up on the line. Or I guess are they relinquishing their timeout? Maybe. They're standing up there getting ready for high fives.
Head ref Mattisfaction given the signal that this game might actually be over. Too late on the timeout. And Feetawa cheering as a pack, and now they'll do the victory lap. Feetawa, first team at the Beast of the East 2013 to move on to the quarterfinals on Sunday.
We've also caught right back up to where we need to be in this schedule. We're only 15 minutes away from our next bout, which is going to be at 2 o'clock, and it's going to be the Riot Squad versus the Vicious Dishes. I'm Private Stacks, and once again, it's been a pleasure, Lou.
It's always fun to call these games, Stacks. Captain Lou Obama signing off for now. We'll see you shortly.